right. Good evening and welcome to Futbol En Vivo on Club Deportes Season 2, Episode 23. We are every week on clubdeportes.com. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at Futbol Austin. That's F-U-T-B-O-L Austin. Be sure to follow Club Deportes at Club Deportes. For all the latest and greatest sports news and commentary, you have to go to the #1 Mazatlan fan site on the internet, clubdeportes.com. I'm your host, Eric McCoy, and I am joined by a man who was unimpressed by Lionel Messi's free kick winner versus Cruz Azul. It's David Alvarez.
I was really impressed.
You were.
I was really
A week
impressed.
ago, you said you wouldn't even be excited to see Messi. At
Man, I
QT
mean,
You
I
changed
was
your
just
mind, huh?
Changed
no,
in
I
your
was
tune,
just
man.
joking, man. I was just joking. I was trying to get more audience, you know.
Yeah,
the
trying to
only
be
thing I can,
controversial.
Yeah.
Clickbait. Going for the clickbait.
That works sometimes,
That
you
seemed
know.
to work this week for some reason.
It does work,
yeah.
depending on who you are. Okay, I'm also joined by a man who never wants to see Austin FC face an underdog team in a cup competition ever again. Oh, it's Jorge Chavez.
Yeah, we definitely played to our competition, up and down.
I think play below the competition. I think it's fair
Play
to say.
below the competition for a lot of these tournaments. So I have some thoughts on that.
Okay, well, let's get right down to it, gentlemen. Frustrating was
Very
the
frustrating.
family-approved F word of
Yep.
the evening on
Yes.
Friday night as Austin FC opened their Leagues Cup campaign with a 3-1 defeat to Mazatlan, the favorite club of Club Deportes.
Yes,
Mazatlan,
big fan base there.
Yeah, a very unfancied. I think
The
it's
West
fair to
Coast,
say. Don't come after us, I
Mexican,
think, but I think
man.
an unfancied Mazatlan side. This was supposed to be the easier of the two group
It
stage
was supposed to be
matches, much easier than the FC
Yes.
Juarez match that is coming up this weekend.
Suddenly it becomes very monumental.
Yeah, yes, indeed.
Yeah.
But Jorge, Mazatlan, what on earth happened?
I don't want to say that. There were some comments made. Let's just say about Liga MX and Mazatlan and all this kind of stuff. On paper, they look beatable.
Yes,
they
yes,
really
indeed.
did.
I mean, they was
But-
supposed to be the worst team in Liga MX.
It's the number.
They should have
15.
been relegated.
With Cruz Azul. Well, Cruz
Azul
Azul
is the
had
worst.
3 losses,
Yeah,
but
they're really bad.
they have one of the best coaches around.
But to be fair, this was just the beginning of Liga MX. So all teams had only played 3 times. So you can't really measure very well.
I think that's.
I mean, and you have one of the best coaches. Like, this guy is one of the best.
Their coach is a very good coach. I will say that. But in Austin FC's defense, they did not play well, obviously, but they also didn't play with any of their DPs.
Yes.
It was the first
0 for
game.
3 on
Where
It was the
was
first
Gallagher?
Wait, he had just gotten back, and he's not a DP, by the way.
But
he's
he
their only
was the one
all-star.
that played with Kansas City the best.
Yes, but
He was number 1, my
but he was
best
coming-
player.
But he was coming back from the All-Star game.
So
he
he
was
didn't play that
probably
much.
in shape.
He got abused by Arsenal then.
Well,
He had to lick his
sure.
wounds, David.
Come on.
It was a tough night. for him.
and so it was a tough night for all of them.
Then Arsenal got abused by Man United.
Well, I think it.
yeah,
I do think it is fair to give Gallagher a rest in this match. He was at the
Yeah.
All-Star game, and Lundqvist had played well earlier in the season,
Right.
and hadn't had a lot of minutes lately. So
No.
I think some rotation there was fine. I didn't have an issue with that.
yeah, and plus we want to send a shout out to CJ Fodry, the first Austin FC 2 player.
Yes.
To make an appearance for Austin FC. Didn't really see too much from him.
No, stoppage
but-
time. minutes.
But he was
mean,
obviously,
Every-
I don't know, I'm not sure what that was all about.
I
but-
mean, the numbers don't lie, guys.
But yeah, we'll
numbers
get to the
numbers
numbers,
don't
man.
lie, man.
Yeah, we'll get to the numbers, but again, there was just no attack. They
What was
Totally
the issue?
disorganized.
I mean, they really struggled to just create anything against this Mazatlan team.
it's hard to pinpoint because they had played well before when Driussi was out for that month. They didn't play too badly during that month. But I think the turning point, to be honest, was when Zardes went down.
Yes.
That threw them off.
When Zardes went down,
Yeah.
especially without Driussi, like where is the goal going to come from?
Right.
So let's go ahead and
Yeah, let's
get
see if we can get
the,
to
let's
the
see
starting
the
lineup, and then we'll get into the
starting
highlights.
lineup. Oh wow!
Very, very different. very different lineup.
Because that's what we were talking last time. It was like how consistent
They
the
had been
lineup
consistent.
has been
And then they threw
since
this at
I
us.
wasn't here.
Yeah, and because you had
Nothing to do with
asked
me, of
us
course.
about our predictions, and I did say it depends a lot on the lineup that they put out. And this was some lineup that they put out.
Yes, indeed, it was.
But it was not a bad lineup. I mean, the idea was good, but it was not effective. Nothing happened.
Best lineup Austin FC had.
No,
I
paper.
agree.
On paper.
Yeah.
But in
exactly.
reality, it didn't happen.
Of course not. But on paper, I mean, you can't. I guess we saw something in practice or whatever that he didn't like from some of the starters, or health-wise or that kind of thing, and we'll get to his comments later as well. But there was just no attack. There was no organization. And
There it is.
Lineup.
Yeah.
Lundqvist, I think it was his first start.
In a while,
In a while.
I think he did have some wing.
Valencia's was coming in obviously for an injured by Pereira. Rodney Redes.
But we talk about Rodney Reyes, and Eric, you were very clear about Rodney Reyes should not be playing next season.
I was pretty clear about that on last week's show. Yes, indeed.
So missing, and also obviously as you can see, there's no DP players. There was no John Gallagher until the 70th minute or something. So,
But look at the bench. The bench is like nothing in there.
and the bench was
There's
not
nothing,
anything
like-
to be afraid of. So
And you have Gallagher out, which for me is like wrong.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. You need to have Gallagher. You have to have the best possible team besides Drusy to make something happen. If you don't have Drusy, just make it very close to what it would be without Drusy. And Gallagher, he should be there. Somebody need to be taking care of the right side of the field. Nobody was on the right side.
yeah, because to be honest, I think Fagundes would be a good substitute for missing Driussi. So put him in the midfield.
He did a great job
He
with the
did a
last
great
game.
job.
With Kansas City, he
and I
did a
don't
great
even mind-
job.
yeah.
But here he did what he could do, but he didn't have the company.
He didn't have the.
He didn't have the
guys.
company to
He
do
didn't have the
anything.
company.
Even he was playing the last man. You know, how many of the goals? He was the last man Fagundes was. So kudos to Fagundes. He was everywhere, but he couldn't do everything for everybody, because the
Yeah.
team,
I
there was
actually-
nobody on the side.
I actually think it was a problem that he was everywhere.
Really?
To be
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah.
I think he
It is a
really
problem.
kind of needed to
But
be
the-
more
that's-
focused centrally
I'm
in that
being
Driussi
facetious,
zone.
I would say. I'm being just like, of course. Like, he should not be the last man.
No, he definitely should not be.
And Finley was the last man, too.
Yeah,
Finley was so many times was the last
shouldn't be
man.
close to the
Why
defense at
Finley
all.
is the last man? This doesn't make any sense.
And that's
And then
that's why I
Wolf?
said-
Wolf was the last man, too.
And that's where I said they were unorganized, because in some of the analysis that we're going to see in a little bit, some of the defense was actually an offense. So it like flip-flopped in the middle of the game.
Yeah, I think towards the end of the match, I think they were really kind
I
of.
mean, you can see, I don't know, we see it in the goal, but Keller wasn't nowhere
if
to
we
be
can,
beat.
if we can go ahead and roll
Yeah,
the
let's roll
highlights
the
here, and then
highlights.
you just take a look at the damage here.
Yeah,
it was not.
Yeah,
not
because
a
it's like
pretty-
so many
not
things
a
to
pretty
talk about.
situation.
18 teams are proud partner. It's not the official and exclusive R2 partner Leagues Cup.
¿Cómo cree que les vaya a ir hoy?
Muy, muy bien. Hoy va a quedar 2-1. 2 Mazatlan, 1 Austin.
¿Por qué le ha ido tan mal a Mazatlán?
Mal no. Lo que pasa es que no le había llegado al nuevo cuerpo técnico que ahora tiene.
¿Cómo crees que les vaya a Mazatlán hoy?
Vamos a ganar 2-0.
¿Cómo ves tú este tipo de partidos?
La verdad es un partido para venir a disfrutar en familia del fútbol, para estar contentos, felices y disfrutarlo.
¿Eres de Mazatlán?
No, yo soy de Medellín, de Colombia.
Entonces,
El director técnico del Mazatlan es mi cuñado, es el esposo de mi hermana. Entonces vinimos a apoyarlo.
¿vienes desde México?
No, yo vengo desde Medellín, pero él vive en México.
Yeah, here's the lineup. On paper,
4-2-3-1. 4-2-3-1.
But-
and the same formation for
Yeah,
For
same
Mazatlan.
formation and everything, And it was
There's so many empty seats on that Q2 stadium, man. I've never seen
for
that
a
at
Friday
7:30.
night, I was kind of
It was
surprised.
7:30. It was so hot. Come on, guys.
Really
I was
hot.
a little
Don't play at
surprised.
7:30. You should have
I
moved it
was
to
surprised
8:30.
they didn't move it up.
Like, be rational. Why are you gonna be suffering like Kansas City did?
And I do honestly think that probably had a little bit.
But
had
look
a
at number
hand-
4.
Yeah.
That was exactly the same way that was open all the time. It was the left side was open. It was like the left for Mazatlan, the right for Austin. And Bello really makes a big difference when he comes in the 15 minute. But come on, this is just ridiculous. Nobody was there. It was empty.
Nobody was
Nobody.
marking him.
Finley is the last man there. And then you know who tried to fix it? It's Cascante, but he messed up. And then look at
Yeah, he fed it.
and then Valencia does a bad tackle. But Valencia like doesn't even do the tackle.
A
It's
comedy
so
of
awful.
errors, I think it's fair to
It's
say.
like,
Happy.
yeah, and I mean, Coleman did a great job for that goal. I mean, you cannot complain about that goal. But this is a foul on Bello. Finley foul on Bello, and they look at it's easy foul on Bello,
Yeah,
and
it's
they
easy
call
foul.
it. This is the best Hollywood movie I ever seen in my life. This is Finley falls like you can see in slow motion. He fouled first. Look at he fouls Bello right there on the left, and then he falls. He tried to be in. He wants to be in Hollywood after the strike. He want to take advantage of the strike
It
because
was a foul.
that was
It
not
was
a foul. That was not a penalty.
No, it was.
That
It
was
was, it
no.
was.
Look at
He
the
just-
slow motion. Look at the slow mo. No, you gotta show the slow mo.
Yeah.
Well, if you don't see the slow,
but,
but this is
this
all.
was a little bit controversial as
That
well.
was a beautiful goal
Where-
by
where he-
hey
where he-
Fagundes put it in the opposite side. That was gorgeous goal by Fagundes. Go and tell you, man.
But
Best
and it
penalty
was a
ever.
little-
And again,
at
you go on the
at
left
that
side.
point, the game was pretty tight, and then just a minute later, I mean, this happened where
Bello
where-
got back, and Wolf give the
Wolf
ball
gave
back
the ball
twice.
back. Gave the
Wolf
ball
went
back.
twice
And
in
there was
the
a hell-
same left
That was a
side.
heck of a shot by Mazatlan.
No, but it was
so-
who gave the ball to him?
Wolf.
Wolf,
But it was a hell of a-
twice.
But it was a hell of a shot by
No,
Mazatlan.
it was a hell of a shot by
Yes.
a 19-year-old kid. Come on, a 19-year-old kid cannot score goal on you like that. No, my God, that's embarrassing.
And then the attempt here,
Redes was really good on that pass. I mean,
but it was offside. It was
and
clearly offside.
and give it to. I mean, and Bruin. I mean, I love he was playing in.
He played aggressive, and
I
I
love
like
to
that.
have him there. He was a great
But-
decision.
But right here, like you had mentioned, Eric, they were trying to go for the tie, and so they
Who
left,
was on the left side?
they
Again,
left
nobody
it
on the
open.
left side.
And then Wolf caused him to be onside.
Who
by
is
a
who
little
is the last
hair.
man?
It was
Who was Wolf?
It was Wolf.
It was because he was lazy. He did not run. He was just behind.
No,
he was
the
lazy.
Cornerbacks were lazy. They didn't.
Look at
they
that,
were
but
way
he
far
no, but
away.
yeah,
He
but
stepped up.
yeah, but
where
he should not be there.
He should not.
He should not be the last
So
man.
how could you call him lazy?
Because he was lazy.
He was
had
not
two
lazy.
errors.
The-
Two errors. The
Okay,
first
the
one and
error
that one.
For me, the error was Cascante and Keller. They should not have been up front.
I mean,
Wolf
yeah,
should have been up
yeah,
front.
yeah,
So
yeah,
there's
yeah,
no laziness
well,
here.
I
I'm
have to
sorry.
agree with you.
No.
Keller was at fault, and Cascante was
Yes.
at fault. Valencia was at fault. Everybody was at fault.
Right.
But who was the principal person at fault?
They put him at fault.
It
They
was,
put
it was
him at
one.
fault.
It was Wolf.
He is not a defender. He should not even have been
I know.
there.
So,
but he was.
I
how can
know,
he be-
but
how can
you
he
don't-
be-
you
how
should-
can he be lazy if he's the last one back?
Because
That-
he
that-
was
that's a
offside.
pretty valid
He was
point.
offside.
But-
He was
but
offside.
that's
He
not
was
his-
not. You need to
but
be on the
that's-
play.
but
You
he's-
need to be on the play.
he's
You
not a
cannot.
back.
You
He's not
need
a
to
left-
be on
he's
the
not a
play.
center back.
Pay
He's not a-
attention. Don't
he's
be
not
the
a
last
left winger.
man. You
He's
need
not
to
a
know
right
if you're a
winger.
player.
It wasn't his position.
Easy.
Now,
he
I-
tried to help. You can't fault him for that.
I ultimately agree more with you, Jorge. That I think, yeah, your defenders need to be doing some defending in
Yes.
that situation.
Oh, me
Even-
too. I agree with that too.
Even if they're attacking, like you had said, they were probably putting everybody forward.
but, hey.
why is Cascante and Keller? They're
But
the ones
that's
last.
not.
They're
It's
the
not.
ones
It's
that-
not the problem, Jorge.
Yes, they
no, No,
are.
that's
They're-
not
they're
the.
in the
The
front.
problem is that you cannot say that after the game. In your conference, you cannot say, "Hey, everybody made an error. Everybody was making mistakes." No, you need to say exactly who made the error like you did. Great for you because you're saying the right thing.
To be fair, I mean, no one really had a good match.
Nobody
match.
really had a good match.
I don't necessarily have a problem with Josh Wolf not singling any of these players out because no
But
one really
take it
played
on
well.
yourself. What I'm saying, you cannot blame it on the team. Blame it in your own coaching abilities.
Because
do not blame it on the players.
And that I totally agree with you because Josh Wolf is the one that put out the lineup.
And he had enough time
and
to
he had
figure it
enough
out,
time.
all the problems that you have in the midfield when the lineup didn't work out.
No, it didn't
Okay,
work
now
out.
here's the thing. I think this is why ultimately sounds like you two are pretty fired up, particularly you, David. You are a wound up man right now.
Oh, it's yes, deservedly by the way.
But me
Yeah.
personally, I'm actually not that bothered by this.
Really?
defeat. I'm
Oh,
not
wow,
that bothered by it.
okay.
And here's why I'm not that bothered by it. Because, I mean, this team is so far removed from what we could consider reasonably to be Austin FC's best 11.
Right.
Then what do you expect?
Well, that's how you have to agree with Jorge Turralde's question.
We'll get to that
well,
in a minute.
that is an interesting. That
That
is
is
a
an-
whole.
Yeah,
You
that's a
have
whole-
to agree
that's
with
a whole
Jorge.
other game.
But you have to, otherwise
You don't have
you're
any
not.
of your three DPs.
You don't have your DPs. You didn't
Zardes
have Gallagher.
goes off injured early.
You don't have Gallagher.
In the
You
18th
don't have
minute in this match.
Pereira.
You
You're
don't have
playing with
Pereira.
a B team.
Exactly.
It was a B
Yeah,
team.
they're playing with a
So,
B team.
so if Mazatlan fans are happy that their first team beat a B team,
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
happy for
I
you.
mean,
I'm
I
not
agree with
worried.
you
I'm happy
finally.
for you.
That's why when I.
I'm
that's
not
the
that.
bottom-
I'm ultimately not that troubled by it. I have some issues with how it ultimately.
No,
played
I
out.
have
There's
issues
some-
with blaming the entire team, not blaming yourself. That's the problem I have.
I'd
But
have to
he
see Josh
he
Wolf.
couldn't play his best 11. His best 11.
No,
was
you
injured.
could have made a decision
His
that
best
in
available.
the left side was asking who was in every single goal, except the last one. All the goals went to the same side,
Went to the
to the
left,
right
went to the
side of the team, or the left side, the other side. Everything, but you
That's
could have
Lima's side.
but you-
Gallagher plays on the left.
exactly.
It doesn't even matter.
Lima and who else should have been there? You have two.
Finley is on the right. That's
No,
your.
but Finley is what? Is your midfielder.
You're more.
Yeah,
advanced
yeah.
player, winger.
Two people should be in the back? Who should have been there?
The cornerbacks,
You would have had
the center backs. I mean,
Cascante.
Cascante,
And
they
those are
weren't.
your
And
two
Lima.
regular. Those are your two regular starters
Lima.
anyway. So that Wolf just.
And Lima.
And Lima's your regular
Yeah.
starter.
And so, where were they in every single goal?
They were up front. They were not
I
defending.
mean, and you know that's happening in the 50th minute. My problem is that you need to make a decision. When you see that somebody is not in there, little Wolf is not, Wolfito is not there, you need to make a decision that you need to do something about this game. If you don't make the decision, at least at the 70th minute, I mean, I'm glad other people is watching this.
I think-
More people. It's a new director. I hope he watch the game and then watch every single thing that happened, even the interviews,
Well-
because that's what we need. We need some criticism.
Well, based on the news Sunday, it looks like he got us some center back help might be coming.
Yeah.
Pretty soon.
Yeah,
we'll
we've
get to
got
that
Matt
momentarily.
Hedges, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, and especially now considering the injury situation Austin FC are dealing with, I think crisis is certainly an appropriate word to describe it. I mean, ultimately, do you just kind of want to get out of this League's Cup, just lose to your FC Juarez and just move on?
Yeah, just move on.
Because this team,
I
there's
think
no way that
there's-
this team would go to, if they, especially if
No,
they finish second,
when
go
you
to
start like that.
LAFC.
And Juarez is in fourth place,
Yeah.
if I'm not mistaken.
Off to a good start this season.
They're off to a good start.
And
Beating America, I mean, that's a pretty big deal at
yeah.
home.
I mean,
Away. Saying in not Estadio Azteca, but in Mexico City. So that's a pretty big accomplishment for early in a Liga MX season. So I foresee good things. So and Mazatlan was supposed to be the easier game. And now FC Juarez, they probably have more fans here, as you can probably tell.
We got one sitting right here.
Yeah. So, and the only reason I'm wearing it is because I want Juarez I want to see Juarez beat Mazatlan. I really want to see that. That's the only reason I'm wearing this shirt. Otherwise, my heart's
because you are from
my heart's
Juarez,
here.
you are from El
I'm
Paso.
from El Paso, Juarez.
Yes,
Yes.
yeah, that's
And
why.
so, it's
No judgment.
I have not seen FC Juarez play in person. This is going to be my first opportunity, so I'm pretty excited. This is the first, and so I have that personal feeling there. But after the game, I mean, I kind of felt a little bit not outrageous in the sense of that this was the result. It's just that people mouthing off on Twitter. That
People
really
were
pissed
very
me
angry.
off.
People
That
were
would piss
very
me off. They said, "Oh, Liga MX is much better than MLS and this and that and the other."
But Mazatlan showed that it's
because
true.
of one reporter's question. Come on.
Hey.
And one result.
Hey, can be honest with you. What El Tuca Ferretti, Cruz Azul coach, said.
Yes.
These nations leagues is more beneficial for the Mexican teams.
Yes,
because they're at the
exactly.
beginning. Than for the it's more like it.
We talked about
like
that
a
last
breathe
week.
out,
Yeah,
you know,
that's
breakout.
what-
That's what
Exactly.
Tuca Ferretti said.
They are not seeing the big picture.
Yeah,
that having these types of tournaments makes both leagues better.
Yes.
So
This is great for the Liga MX.
yes, so
Liga MX is
but
more benefit than us.
but more directly, more closer to what we're talking about now. Everybody was talking about Liga MX being better than MLS because Mazatlan in 15th place beat fifth place Austin FC. What happened yesterday?
Oh, I love that game. The Puebla nil,
One
Minnesota
of the better,
United
one of the
4.
more known teams.
Yeah.
I think apart from Tigres, Monterrey, America, and Chivas, Puebla is probably the most known team.
It should be 10-man
Well, Cruz
Minnesota
Azul.
United.
A 10-man Minnesota United
I actually watched this
beat
game.
your Liga MX team,
Actually,
Puebla.
I mean, not mine.
No, I'm
I did watch
talking
this
to
game.
the Puebla
So,
Mazatlan fan.
Minnesota United went up 1-0.
Yes.
And then they get a red card. It's about the 33rd, 35th minute or so.
Yes.
And so they have to go the rest of the match
Boxall.
with 10 men.
Yes.
And in the second half, they outscore Puebla
3-0
to win 4-0. It was incredible.
So now, do you still want to? Do those fans want to keep saying that Liga MX is better than MLS?
It is.
It's
It
not.
is better, man.
It
It
is
is way
not.
better.
Oh my
Look at
God.
the amount of players, so many players that play in the Copa America, that play in national teams, way more than the MLS. Way more like people play in national team play in the Liga MX.
I don't think so.
Even the third league Argentinians, they don't. Of course, they don't play in Argentina, but none of them. But they could have played in any other team in the world, but they go play in Mexico.
I actually do think at this very moment, I do think Liga MX is probably the stronger of the two leagues, but I don't think the gap is that significant.
Not that
I
significant.
don't think it's that significant.
Is
of a
it?
gap.
Is it?
Yeah,
Getting,
yeah.
Is it getting closer?
Especially now that Messi's here, everything's changed.
And Busquets and
Iniesta.
Jordi, Iniesta. He's 39.
Maybe.
Getting up
What's
there. You're getting up there.
Suarez. I
Suarez?
heard.
You
So
said
that's
it.
going to be a heck of a
So,
team.
yeah, we need to have a better, more happy conversation.
We did talk
than-
about this, that having those guys come in is suddenly going to need for other teams to open up their wallets. And their
yes,
salary
indeed.
cap.
Spend some of that Apple.
Hey,
money.
our
Spend some of that
competition is Saudi Arabia for sure. Even Mbappe wants to go. They
Money-wise,
offer him
yeah.
300 million to play in Saudi
Money-wise,
Arabia.
yeah.
Saudi Arabia is everyone's competition right now, though.
So-
MLS,
so-
EPL, all of
so
it.
you don't see that level of interest in Liga MX
No.
from players. They're good players. I'm not saying that they're not. There's a lot of guys that
I gotta
make a
tell you,
national team and all
that
kind of stuff.
that's a wild statement because, really, the Liga MX pays more than any other league in South America except the Brazilian league.
Right, but do they
Right,
pay more
and
than
they
MLS?
play more. They play more than the MLS for the players. Yeah,
Barely,
but they do.
and that's what I'm
That
saying.
they do.
For right now. But what I'm
They
saying
won't pay
is
the high-end numbers that MLS will.
Right.
It's a different structure.
it's a different
It's a
structure.
different structure. It's
But on
much more
average-
competitive. It's much more competitive than the Liga, the MLS. So that's
Right.
what probably the problem.
right, but you can't tell me that having a Messi here, a Luis Suarez, a Jordi Alba, a Busquets.
I want to see them play before
And-
with Austin FC before I say anything
that's-
about it.
Well, we're,
You
gotta
before
see
I
how
know-
they
yeah,
base-
we probably
how
won't
they
see
do
that
it.
anymore. But
Could have happened.
could happen. But next year maybe. But that's going to generate more interest from maybe a little higher end player than normally does.
No, we are already. I mean,
And we
it's-
are
we are
already.
already. Like we haven't having Messi
And
stuff.
that's what
I
I'm
mean,
saying.
We are already. So
And that's
this
what
was
I'm
the
saying,
biggest thing.
That Liga MX doesn't have that. The owners from Liga MX teams are way too stingy to try to attract that type of player. They're going to want a cheap a cheap.
Well, the Canales
play.
from Betis just signed in for
Who
Monterrey.
the hell is that?
Canales from
I have no idea who
Real
the hell
Betis.
that is.
Real Betis from Monterrey decide not to go to
I
Europe,
actually
and
do
he
know who
just
that
signed
is,
up for
but I'm a
Monterrey.
sicko. So I watch
I
way
mean,
too much soccer.
and you see that happen. Like Guignac could have played anywhere in the world, and he decides to stay with Tigres.
I don't know about
I
anywhere.
mean,
Okay.
come on, guys.
Where does he?
I mean,
Where-
what are we
where's
talking
Puig
I don't
about?
know
Where's
about
Puig
anywhere.
playing? Where's Puig playing? He's playing. Is he playing some?
Doesn't matter.
is something-
Who?
He's playing for
You
Galaxy.
know who Ricky Booge is.
You know who
Dominic.
Ricky Puig is. He could he have played for any Liga MX team?
Yeah, of course.
Would they have paid him?
Yeah.
No.
America
they
would pay
didn't
him.
pay. They did not
Monterrey
pay him.
would play him.
No.
They have enough money.
Those are the big teams.
Hey, Monterrey,
And so yes,
Tigres,
that's fine.
they all
But-
pay for them.
But did they?
even Leon can pay for it.
Did they sign
Even-
him?
Did
Did
they?
they
Even
sign
Leon-
him?
I mean,
Did
come
they
on.
sign him? They did not.
So, what place is that team in? In the Western Conference? In what place is it?
Yes, but at the
Well,
but-
okay, that's
but
the
they're-
point.
But they're still playing.
What kind of level you have? If you're at the bottom, yes, I believe you.
Fine.
You know, just like Inter Milan, Inter Miami, we was just at the bottom till now, right? Till now.
We shall see.
Yeah, we
Okay.
shall see.
One quick. I'm just gonna detour us back just a little bit. In terms of this Austin FC Mazatlan match, I just
Yes.
have one question for you guys. In terms of a path not taken that I think could have perhaps affected the result. This is kind of my hobby horse on this show. I am a big fan of Austin FC in the 3-4-3 formation.
Yeah.
And I'm curious without, especially the forward line, having the injuries that it has had in this match. Rodney Redis was not good
No,
in
he-
this
he did
game.
not- he did not
And I think
show up.
Diego Fagundes, really struggled trying to fill in the Sebastian Druzzi number 10 role that
Yeah.
he was put into in this game.
Yeah.
And I think a 3-4-3 where you would have had Fagundes in his natural left position,
Yes.
Finley on the right, and then Zardes up top.
Or Uruti.
Oh, in the middle,
Urruti,
more,
and then
and
Bruin,
so- yeah.
ultimately,
And then Bruin,
depending
sure.
on who was
Urruti,
available.
yeah.
And you could add a back five of Lundqvist at left wing back, Keller at left center back, Cascante at center back, Lima at right center back, and then Gallagher if you're David Alvarez, or you could even put Hector Jimenez if you
Yeah.
still wanted to rest.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
you wanted to rest Gallagher for
There's
it. So you still
nobody
could have
there.
played. You could have done the 3-4-3. I think, as FCTV pointed out last week on their program, this is a very narrow Mazatlan team.
Yes.
They like to sit very compact, very deep, in a very narrow shape. And I think Austin FC really struggled to stretch Mazatlan. And I think just the natural width that you get in the 3-4-3 with the wingbacks
Yes.
could have stretched Mazatlan and created some gaps in there.
And I think part of the reason why is because, again, since we mentioned it, they're barely starting in their season.
Yes.
So they still don't know. They
Yeah.
haven't played a lot with each other very well. So a team that doesn't know itself very well is going to play compact in the back.
And then actually,
Exactly.
They're going to play more. They're going to play more of a defensive
well, that's
game
the
and take
formation
a
they
chance.
had. They had that formation, pretty much.
And here's the thing.
3-4-3, that's what they had.
That as the game progressed, they saw what Austin FC's tendencies were. So that's where I give a lot of credit to the coaching staff for Mazatlan. They were observing what was happening on the field.
It's an empty
Austin
side.
FC,
It's
Austin
one
FC.
empty side in the back.
So Mazatlan adjusted their playing style, and Austin FC did not. They did not. They attacked and attacked and attacked. And Mazatlan,
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Mazatlan coaches
There's
staff
no
paid
adjustment.
attention,
There's no
and
adjustment
they
when you have enough
adjusted.
time to do it.
Yes.
You need
Obviously,
to change
losing
things.
Zardes helps because Urruti and Zardes are different type of players, and Urruti really didn't. He wasn't a factor in the game as much as Zardes would, and his speed. So Mazatlan just observed. They adjusted. They saw that they started compact. They absorbed the pressure, and then took their chances. Like David said, they probably explored that left side was weak, and that's what they exploited. They went into halftime. They went after halftime a different team.
They only
It
had
was a
30.
very different game
They
in the
only
second
had
half.
34% control of the game, of the ball, possession of the ball, against 66%.
Right.
But they have more shots on target, 5 of them
Which is
against
what
3.
you alluded to in your last game. With
It's
Austin
exactly
FC,
what I alluded
that
to.
they were more efficient with
And
their
more
shot
balanced.
taking.
Even though
And
they
more
have
balanced.
less possession, they were way more balanced.
Right.
And that's exactly what we didn't have. We didn't have balance,
Yeah,
even though we had the possession like we used to have in the old days.
Right.
Exactly. Okay. One other question about a path not taken. You mentioned CJ Fodry, who did come on in this match, and with all the injuries and players like Roddy Redes, Johan Valencia, we kind of know what to expect from these guys,
Right.
and we know that it's not a lot that we can expect from them. Whereas Austin FC too is a pretty talented bunch of players.
They're very good.
Would you like to see more of these
Yes.
players? Okay,
Yes.
I think that's.
I've alluded to this before. I think anytime you get an Austin FC 2 player, the opportunity to show what he's got, he's going to go all out. He's not going to take it easy like you alluded Owen Wolf did, because let's face it, Owen Wolf has his place cemented on the team.
It does.
But
It did not have a good performance like this last game.
That's not what I was getting to. What I was getting to is if you add a CJ Fodry in there, he does not have his place cemented. So what's he going to do? He's going to go all out to try to impress the coaches.
Be the biggest game of his life. To this
biggest game of his life. He's going to show up.
So,
Putting him in the
Liga,
extra time,
like Nations
doesn't
League is
give
just a
him-
practice for us, right? That's what basically is practice. We need to practice who's going to be able
no,
to
but-
make
This
it
is
to
Leagues
playoff.
Cup.
But-
It's not
but-
Nations League. It's
That's
Leagues
what I'm
Cup.
saying. But you brought him up for a reason. Might as well show him off. Give him some minutes.
You had Micah Burton in this team. You had Torre, the defender. Babosi in midfield as well. So you had options there.
Oh, Noel was there.
Yeah.
You have the new kid.
Yeah, they were all there.
There was all there.
I was happier with Bruin. Bruin for me was the best backup we have.
He
He
did a
is
great
somebody
job.
that I
think he
always
went
have
all
it
out.
been playing, because the presence, the size, no matter what, that was offside. Was a nice pass by Redes.
Yeah.
Nice cross by Redes, and then you had to. It was a good pass by Redes. It could have been a goal easily, but
Could have been a goal,
but he just ran a
And
little
could
bit
have
later.
changed the complexion of the game.
But he was there, and his presence is always felt.
Look, I love Will Bruin as well, but he can only play about 20 minutes. So
Yeah.
I think
He's
but,
definitely super
but
sub.
we need to see him.
But we need
You need to see him more often.
I would agree with that. I would agree that I would like to see him subbed on more often. But I think really going forward, as guys that could potentially start games, start against Suarez even, I would like to see some of these Austin FC 2
Yes.
players. Because if you're going to lose in this competition, which it seems Austin FC are destined to do, I would much rather lose with kids getting that valuable experience versus losing with players like Redes and Valencia, where we know they're just
They should
frankly
not be on the
just
team.
not very good.
They're not making the
that's
team.
The nicest way to put it.
honestly.
But we have to put things in perspective. Right now, Mazatlan has 3 points. Austin has 0. Juarez has 0 because Juarez doesn't play. Tomorrow's game, if Juarez beats Mazatlan, which
It opens things up.
It opens things up because then Mazatlan and Juarez are going to have 3 points, and Austin is going to have 0 points. So that if they beat Juarez, I don't see how, but if they beat Juarez, then all 3 teams will have 3 points, and it depends on the goal differential.
Austin FC's goal differential. not terrible.
It's
minus
not terrible,
2, but
yeah, and so
Yeah, we got a
better than
chance.
Puebla's.
We got a chance.
After tomorrow,
Yeah.
we'll see.
Let's
where
not
they
play
are.
with a B team, okay?
Yes,
It's just
but-
like now with a
but
B team
I think
right
that's
now.
going to determine a lot on what's going to happen. If Mazatlan wins, and then Juarez and Austin FC are tied with 0 points, Juarez is going to go wall out, and a depleted Austin FC team is not going to put out Austin FC 2 players. They're going to put the best players they have, which is probably close to a lineup that we already saw against.
To be fair, I'm not even convinced that, considering the talent some of these Austin FC 2 players have, I'm not even sure Redes and Valencia. You might be better off with
might
the
be better
kids.
off.
You might actually be better off with the kids.
And to be honest, we probably will have John Gallagher back.
Yeah, he should probably.
He's
better
like,
like
he's like a
And
quarter
so-
of the team, man.
But he's not a linchpin. He's
Gallagher
not
did everything
he's
against
not like
Kansas
the
City.
center of the team. He's
He
a
should be.
great
He
com-
was against Kansas City.
But he will suddenly be. He suddenly will be. He suddenly will be because Drusi obviously won't be there.
I
Man,
would think.
every single dangerous against Kansas City,
Fagundes
it was
will
Gallagher.
probably be close to that as well. So those
Yeah.
two and those two and Stuver are the pillars of the team.
Yeah, Yeah,
And
I agree with
if
that.
anything were to happen to those three guys,
Without
in this
Rusi,
game,
they need to be in all the time.
so it's
They
going
cannot
to
be-
it's
if they
going to
have-
be
yeah.
all dependent on tomorrow to see what happens tomorrow.
Yeah, it'll be a
What do
very,
we
very
want to do?
interesting
Do we want to keep practice or want to really want to win this? Want to qualify for the CONCACAF Champions? That's the
Let's
question.
be honest. They're not going to go. They weren't going to go very far.
I would, like I said earlier, I would rather them just get knocked out, rest up, get ready for when MLS play returns, and make that playoff push.
Get those guys injured.
To
Get
no
those
avail.
Guys back.
To no avail. I mean, we're not going to make it. We're not going to win it.
Why, I'm waving the white flag, though.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I'm waving the white flag.
We're not even. Close.
I give up. I give up.
We're not even. Close.
Oh, you already give up. Okay.
I give up.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're
Let's everybody give up, okay?
One more final Austin FC note. Matt Hedges, is likely to become an Austin FC player. This is per Tom Bogert in The Athletic.
Yeah.
Is saying the Austin FC are going to be paying Toronto FC $500,000 in general allocation money. It's GAM. And if you have any questions about GAM, TAM, just
direct
at
them to
David Alvarez.
He knows all
Eight
the down
text
about that.
on Twitter. He will answer all of your questions. I can even give them your phone number, David. Maybe with some phone calls, people will call you
Somebody-
and ask you questions
explain
about
GAM,
Why
TAM.
not?
GAM and allocation money and
Oh,
all
I
that.
thought it was live Futbol En Vivo call.
No, well, we could have some of that.
We
That could be
could. We
entertaining.
could.
Yeah.
See if they call you right now.
Yeah, why not?
But yeah, so Matt Hedges, is this a good movie? So he's 33 years old.
Right.
He's been a very good player. FC Dallas's all-time
been a
leader
good
in
all-time
appearances,
leader. Yes.
which is a nice little flex, I
Yes.
think, for Austin FC to be getting FC Dallas's all-time leader in appearances.
Like, almost Oklahoma.
But he's it is almost Oklahoma. But he is only featured in 14 of Toronto FC's 24 matches. Toronto FC very bad. This is a bad team. So he's not even featuring regularly for a bad team. Is this our savior on the back line?
Not at all.
Okay.
It's a good complimentary piece.
It sounds like a lot of money. That's
sounds
half
like a lot of
$1
money.
That's $500,000 you're sending over.
It could be something related to him not being comfortable.
Is this the
a
best
lot of
$500,000 could buy, do you think?
Probably not. I mean, they could probably get someone a little younger, a little.
These
more
intra-league
starting
deals
experience.
are
We need somebody
very,
like Rigoni
Well, they
that could be complement
could have paid
Drusi.
him that for that money, but
I mean, Drusi complementing, that's
But-
what we need.
but as far as like a Matt
That's
Hedges,
the bottom line.
you know, I see, I see the same thing as I would see like an Adam Lundqvist. He starts, but not really. He's kind of has flashes here and there. I expect kind of the same thing for Matt Hedges. It could be just a change of pace for him. That he's in a different place that maybe rises him up a little bit, gives him a little more confidence. I think he's a lifelong Texan, so maybe that had something to do with it. I don't know. So maybe a change of scenery will do him good.
yeah, we'll see. At the very least, a warm body. It is a little disconcerting, though. I mean, Brandon Craig has not made an appearance yet. I'm honestly more interested in what he can do.
Yes.
And at this point, especially with Zardes going down, and we could maybe show a clip with Rudy, possibly injured, possibly not
Oh,
injured.
Ruti is injured too?
Well, that is a question.
He says he's not.
I honestly think, like, if you're going to be dropping 500,000 of GAM, maybe a forward might be the
healthy
bigger
forward.
a healthy forward might be
I mean,
the bigger priority.
we have a bunch of forwards, but we can always have another one.
One out of
Jorge,
all of them.
do we have the clip of there is some mixed messaging. I think it's fair to say from
Mixed messaging
from
is
Austin
good.
FC from the
Yeah.
coach and player in the post match this past match, and I don't. It's tough to read into this, and there's a bit of history between Wolf
There's a
and
little bit of history
Rudy.
between
It sounds like a repeat, a deja vu. That was like
That sounded
I heard that
familiar
before
Similar-
last season
LAFC,
during the playoff, during the LFC.
LAFC.
You have good memory, my friend. You are
We
right.
all do. We all remember.
Yeah, I
Look it
remember
up.
that.
Three
He
old
said the
guys,
same
and
thing.
We still got our wits about us. It's good.
Yeah, man. Thanks
Yeah,
you
so
too,
that
Ben.
was-
We can watch everything back.
But once it comes up, but so that I think that says a lot to the psyche of the team.
What the? You must be kidding, young
There you
fella.
go. If you got your
196. What?
GAM question, just call that number right
Yeah,
there.
the
It
900
looks like you got some
I
other
thought it was a
services you're
one new
offering too,
1-800
that we-
number.
that we
now. I
just
didn't
set
know
up
about it
just
was
this instant.
1-900 double
Looks
triple
like-
X.
What kind of services are
I
you
know-
offering there?
I know I like Dos X, but not triple X.
I know the sexy voice at the mic was there, but you know.
Okay, I think we might be good to go.
Somebody was
on
calling
the,
me other day.
It becomes quite frustrating in that fashion. Obviously, Giassi goes out early. That's a little concern, and Maxi also has something up with his adductor. So
Cuando hicieron el cambio, ¿fue el cambio de estrategia o fue por una lesión? Cuando saliste de la cancha.
No, no lo sé.
sabes.
La verdad que no tengo idea porque fue el cambio, pero bueno, nada. Uno siempre está para el grupo, se brinda al máximo y siempre da lo mejor.
concern, and Maxi also has something up with his adductor. So those are things that.
Cuando hicieron el cambio, ¿fue el cambio de estrategia o fue por una lesión? Cuando saliste de la cancha.
No, no lo sé.
sabes.
La verdad que no tengo idea porque fue el cambio, pero bueno, nada. Uno siempre está para el grupo, se brinda al máximo y siempre da lo mejor.
So you have Coach Josh there saying that there's an abductor issue with
Abductor
Maxi.
issue, yes.
And then Maxi saying he has no injury
problem.
issues
And he
whatsoever.
never heard of anything. But he was very polite. Say, I'm always available for the team, for no matter what happened and whatever decision is taken. So it was very nice of him.
Sure, he was diplomatic about it.
The same thing he did against LA.
But I'm sure, as a coach, you know that players never want to go out, and they never say that they're injured.
Never.
So that's probably
I mean, how big of a deal
I'll give
is
him
this?
that.
Because Maxi's a big guy on this team in terms of
Maxi-
locker room
Suddenly
personality.
he becomes a big guy. Yeah.
Well, he has a big presence in the locker room.
Yeah,
You're
exactly.
right.
But if he really is injured with an abductor and Jazzy's artist is out for whatever reason, we don't have a forward anymore.
Because Bruin can't play
Bruin.
90.
He can't play 90. So who do we bring in? Austin FC 2's.
Ronnie Redis.
He's not a center.
Well, for
forward.
League's Cup,
I mean, Gallagher used to be one of them.
David Rodriguez, I think, is the main striker for Austin FC2, but he was not listed on the League's
was
Cup
not
roster.
listed, yeah.
So I don't think there's an Austin FC2 forward
they
on the
can't
roster.
bring him
I mean, Gallagher can do it, but they need to put somebody in instead
So
of Gallagher.
I think that's going to bring up.
Actually, that might be what ends up
That
happening.
might be
Tommy.
something. But what I do think is that this is going to cause both it's going to cause Austin FC to change formations. I foresee a 4-4-2
Okay.
where
Who
you have
who are the two?
you have Fagundes and Redis up front.
Wow.
Unfortunately.
Fagundes and Redis.
Austin FC are not beating.
No, I'm sorry,
Lawrence
not
like that.
Fagundes. Not Fagundes. Sorry, Finley and Redis.
Finley and Redis.
With
Which-
more of
Hey,
actually more of a 4.
Hey, I gotta give Finley.
4-3-1-2. I think.
Finley should have an Oscar right now for that fake penalty that he.
I mean, no.
And
just
not only that,
sportsmanship, man.
he had another one that he could have easily give the pass to Fagundes, and we could have scored, but he decided to shoot it himself.
Sorry, we're all.
Remember that one?
We're all Adrian.
I mean, he could have done
we
it.
are all Ethan Finley fans here, so I'm not
We're
going to
moving
entertain
on
that.
from that.
But
We've already
but from now on,
That's what happened.
if a Finley plays next to a Redes, I put Fagundes just behind them.
No, Fagundes, I mean,
And-
Finley can play anywhere, but the
Finley-
problems. It could be like it could be the
Yeah.
same thing. It could do the same thing.
He could play center.
Yeah.
I can kind of foresee that, but
Stretch the back line, some
But
runs in behind.
would it help to do that? Because I know FC Juarez has seen the tape of what FC has presented itself against Mazatlan, and so they're gonna study the hell out of this tape, and it's gonna show them disorganized.
Whatever the
team.
execution needs to be done, and you need to save the right side. Please take care of that right side because that's where
Agreed.
everybody goes to it. So that's the main thing.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, and part of that I think was that the Mazatlan coaching staff adjusted well to what Austin FC presented, but they were presenting weaknesses on the left side. They were pressing towards the front, and that left them open, and they exploited that. And so I think I don't want to say Austin FC needs to be more conservative with their lineup, But I think that they need to give them a different look.
Yeah, and they need to
because
play
Juarez-
later. They need to play at
Juarez is
8:30, not at 7:30.
That also helps a lot.
That would be
But Juarez
important.
is a much better team than Mazatlan.
Oh yeah, I actually think that's a good point. My apologies. I'm playing hurt today, and you are as well, Jorge.
I am as well. Yeah.
You got to
You're the
carry
healthy
this
one.
show, man. You got to carry this show. But I think you're right. A more conservative setup where you look to maybe hit Juarez on the counter. I think maybe what the best approach is in this match.
Yeah.
How are we doing on time? I think we're running a little long here. I just want to see if we have enough time to talk Messi, Women's World Cup, any of that. We have 10,
50
15
15.
minutes. 15?
Yeah, so we need,
Okay.
yeah.
We
maybe-
have
All
plenty
right.
of time then.
Okay.
Enough
See
of
if my
this crap.
voice. Let's see if my voice can hang in there. You guys might have to help me out. Women's World Cup. Let's start with that.
Okay.
What are your thoughts? I'm gonna drink some liquid here and try and clear my throat.
Sure. I've been seeing a lot of the highlights. Some of them are 2 in the morning, so it's really
Yeah,
hard
it
to
is
watch.
a rough one.
Watch some of
But you
those,
can watch them
but
live if you don't have a job or if you have a vacation.
If
you
you
can
don't have
wa-
anything
can
else
watch,
to do, you can watch it
I'm
live.
on vacation. I watch it
Unfortunately,
live.
Some of us
Some of
do
us
not
at
have
work.
that luxury.
Yeah, I have the
So,
luxury
we
that
watch
I'm
the
on
highlights.
vacation, so I watch some
And
games live at 2 in the
there's
morning.
a little bit of
That
drama.
does sound fun. That does sound fun.
There's a little bit of drama.
It
that
was
you-
just like Wimbledon.
that you don't normally see in men's World Cup.
Wimbledon doesn't happen at 2 in the morning.
Well, some of them play early. You
Yeah,
know,
some of them play
Six.
Like,
But the marquee
6 p.m.
games
Yeah.
are on. But so there's some drama already in there. There's some performances that did not look good. I'm a little worried about the U.S. women's team. Vietnam played well. England did not play well.
I mean,
A lot of the favorites have struggled. France had a 0-0 with
And
Jamaica.
even though Spain presented well in their first game, they seemed a little disjointed. I think
against Costa Rica, which is not a really big team,
not a really big team.
and not at all. They should have done way,
Right.
way
So-
better.
So I don't foresee them going very, very far. So honestly, this is the most competitive women's World Cup in a while.
I'm excited. They're going to be, I think, these knockout matches in particular, I think are going to be
Well,
really
I gotta
fun.
tell you that I've been watching most of them, and the big game next on Wednesday is going to be the U.S. against Netherlands.
That will be
And
good.
that
That's a
game-
repeat of the final, right?
It's a
From
return of the
2019, yeah.
2019 final, I believe. So yeah, and they're both teams. I mean, Netherlands barely, well, not barely, but they beat Portugal decisively, I would say, with the same type of strategy that most of the big teams are doing, which is headers, right?
Right.
They're doing in this case. But you can see the huge difference that they have. Some of the teams, especially the Nordic team, which is like Sweden, Denmark, Netherlands. Even England.
I don't believe
England
Netherlands
should-
is
England-
considered a Nordic country, David.
Well, Northern, yes,
I don't
it's
think
above.
it is. I don't think it's a Nordic.
Well, it's for me. Well, it's in the North Sea. Well,
Yeah,
so let's see, it's in the
there,
North Sea.
yeah.
Okay.
Usually,
But,
you're the expert on the show because of history,
you-
well,
geography.
it is the Nordic country. It's
All
right
right,
next
so
to it's next to Friesland.
I kinda agree
Next to
with that.
Friesland, it's where all the Anglo-Saxons came.
There we go, we're all the way
Okay,
to
the
that
Anglo-Saxons, so.
that is true.
But anyways, they're taller than most people in the world. So
Yeah.
they use that. So the set pieces on the World Cup are the main thing, and the big crosses.
The
You will see it.
anthropological analysis you bring to the show.
Yeah, it's like well, the crosses. So you have to do the crosses and big headers, and
You
that's
have
what
to
I've been
take
making.
advantage of your physicality.
And Brazil does have it too.
They have it
But
too.
Brazil also has the flair.
Now, I want to ask Jorge this question, and because one of the criticisms that has been leveled at Vlatko Andonovski, the U.S. coach in this tournament, is that they rely too much on crosses, and they can be pretty one-dimensional in the final third. I mean, U.S. 27 shots
Right.
in this game versus Vietnam, 27-0 on the shot count in that. It's just stunning.
Yeah.
But yeah, only 3 goals. Are they too reliant
Only
on
the 3 goals against the smallest, 35th team on the world. One of the lowest in the
Exactly.
you
So
play,
are you crossing
and the
too much?
size difference is huge. And what happened? Vietnam got so many headers, even they were tiny ones. So kudos
They
to
got to a
Vietnam.
lot of balls. Vietnam played well.
Are they crossing too much, though? Is it too one-dimensional?
I think it was one of those games that they probably should have scored a lot more goals than they did.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's relative to what they do. They are taking advantage of their height advantage. And it's just that Vietnam played a different game.
But think about.
And then you said Megan Rapinoe did not do a good job taking care of those.
But think about it in the Olympics when the U.S. came up against, I think, a more well-drilled, more kind of just system-oriented Sweden team,
Right.
and got knocked out. And I look at a team like Japan. I look at a team like Spain. These are very well-organized, very just system-driven teams.
But who do they play to? You know, they didn't play big teams.
They did
They
not.
did
The
not
US
play
didn't play a
big
big
teams.
team.
Huh?
Vietnam wasn't very good.
Yeah,
Big
the
team.
US
What?
played
What? Who
Vietnam.
did Japan play?
They played Zambia, who a lot of people did like. They're
But-
the lowest-rated team in the
I
tournament.
know, but you know, come on.
People did.
There was not much
They were
difference
highlighted
there.
as a team that could surprise the people. They did not look good. In
Yeah,
this
they
game.
did not look good. Yeah,
But no, it'll be interesting going forward. I think one of the things I have liked about this tournament, I think you brought this up, David, is that a lot of these underdogs have played pretty well.
pretty well.
Haiti.
It-
Haiti.
They played really well.
And I think what's
Against
important-
England.
What's important to keep in mind is that this tournament expanded from 24 to 32 teams.
Which is a good thing, I think.
Which is ultimately a very good thing, but people were worried that we would see more score lines
No, yeah, you're right.
like USA 13, Thailand 0, like more
No,
score
no,
lines like that,
no.
but we haven't seen
It was
that.
a very like.
And it even started with the first game
It just show
Yes.
you.
with New Zealand
Yeah.
stunning Norway.
Yes,
That was a
Norway,
heck of a game.
one of the favored
One
teams.
of the favorites.
Hey, but when you're at home, you're at home.
Yeah, when
and you're
at
in New
home,
Zealand,
there's that lift.
You're
that
in
you-
New Zealand, you're
Yeah.
gonna do the haka, the hookah, and all the stuff,
haka,
and then
yeah.
you're gonna
And
get
so-
in trouble.
and
if
so
you
they're
do
going to
it-
get
do
pretty
it right.
pumped for the first game. So
Which of these games here are you guys looking forward to? I know we talked U.S. Netherlands.
No, that's the
Anything else that
key.
you
But
guys-
France, Brazil will be awesome.
That is going
Come
to be great.
on,
France,
and I think Brazil's gonna win it.
I
And
think you might be
Argentina
right.
is gonna beat South Africa. It's gonna win the first game
Yeah.
in history because they've lost every single game in every single.
They
World Cup.
lost today to Italy.
Yeah,
1-0.
1-0.
yeah,
1-0.
Argentina right
But
now.
their goal is to win one game in the World Cup. That's their goal.
Yeah, I think
They've never even scored a goal, right?
Yeah, they haven't even scored. So, it's a little rough for some of us. Some of the watch parties are just not going to happen, other than for the local teams.
Who's gonna be the favorites? Who are the favorites?
But the favorite,
Let me
that's
give me
really
the
hard.
give me the three favorites. Three favorites.
Three favorites?
Yes.
Definitely Brazil, U.S. just because of the
Brazil,
roster they
US,
have, and
and-
England because they won.
and England.
They won UEFA.
Okay.
I'm gonna go U.S. I like Brazil too, and then Japan, like I said earlier.
I think you had to say I was gonna say Germany, Netherlands, and Brazil.
No U.S.
No U.S.
No
That's-
US.
Oh, I mean, that is crazy talk.
But that's right now for what I see, what I saw in the
You might end
field.
up being right.
What I
You
show
might
me,
end up
that's
being
what I
right.
saw in the field. For
But-
this time, I might change my opinion next. Usually, I change my opinion
usually.
during the playoff. When we at the end, I change my opinion. But right now, I think Netherlands, Germany, and Brazil.
They play
Germany's
the
a
best
good
opening.
shout. Germany is a good shout.
Yeah, they play the best games. Definitely.
Okay, before we leave, I think we do need to talk about a very special moment that happened during the very dour
Yes.
Austin FC match. Fortunately, I had two screens going, and I had
So did I.
one screen on the very bad Austin FC game and another screen on the very, very exciting Inter Miami Cruz Azul match, which of course ended with a Lionel Messi free kick winner
Amazing
in stoppage time.
Amazing.
Is this, if you want to be pedantic, this was technically Leagues Cup, but I'm not going to be pedantic about it. I think this was the greatest moment in MLS history. I really believe that.
One of them, at least, is one of
I
them.
think what that did a lot.
And you guys said it. You said it before, like you guys talk about it, and you were totally clear. Like, this is going to be a big impact on the MLS. And it was, because nobody knew who Inter Miami was before this game.
Nobody cared. Nobody cared.
I mean, you do have David Beckham as an owner. I think a few
But-
people are aware of their existence.
But I think what that is going to do for the psyche of the world is that the U.S. really does play some soccer. They really do have played football. And what amazed me is who was in attendance. The GOAT of the NBA, LeBron James. The GOAT of women's soccer, Serena Williams.
And the
The
GOAT
GOAT
of, like,
of American football, Tom Brady. They
Brady
were
was
there.
there? I didn't see
They
that.
were
hey,
there.
what about the GOAT of
They
salsa?
were there. Mark Anthony was
Mark
there.
Anthony was there.
The GOAT of whatever she does. Kim Kardashian was there.
I have this question specifically for you, David. Out of all of these celebrities, LeBron, Serena, Mark Anthony, Tom Brady, and Kim Kardashian, who would you most want to meet out of all of that group?
Kim Kardashian. I mean,
I knew it.
how she can
I'd have
do
to
that?
agree. I'd
How
have to
she can keep it up? Her son loves soccer, so she was for her son.
Her son loves soccer.
And that she shows how the regular people love soccer, support Lionel Messi, you know. And I mean, that was nice.
And this is. For those of you who don't know that guy, you really should look him up.
Yeah, inform me.
I'm glad I don't see the Ronaldo picture anymore.
He's like the
here.
Frank Sinatra of Mexico.
Oh, wow.
But not really. No, he's more of the Tiny Tim of music. But anyways, and so Miami FC did not pay these guys to go there. These people to go there. Presumably. They probably don't even have a relationship with David Beckham. Say, hey, give me some cup tickets or whatever.
Yeah,
no, they went on their own. They went to see him.
Well, that's good.
And those weren't the only ones. There were probably some other. Kun Agüero was there.
Yes.
Well, that was the main thing. Kun Agüero was the main thing, and
Kun Agüero was there.
He might still play for Miami because if he has a heart problem, he might be released.
They have better doctors in Miami, I'm sure, but I think his time has passed.
And Suarez is coming in too.
Suarez suddenly has an interest to come in. I think they already have an arrangement with
Iniesta.
No, with Iniesta, they already signed him. They have
already signed Iniesta?
I think so.
Oh wow, that's a news to me.
Alba already.
That's news to me.
They gave him an offer. Put it that way. These are some names.
Just to get some insights.
These are some really good names.
Old guys.
And so, just the impact of these sports figures, American sports figures, being in awe of the world GOAT. Let's just say what it is. This guy is a reigning World Cup champion, reigning
Copa America champion,
reigning club Ballon d'Or winner. This guy, Jesus.
Well, it's not Jesus anymore. He's God.
He's God.
Yeah.
And so if these guys
the greatest ever, right?
Everybody, but when he was going to take that free kick other day, the people were saying the goddess are listening. And I say, not the goddesses. God.
He was there.
He's God.
He was there.
Okay. He was God, man. Not the goddesses.
We are short on time, but I have one final question for you guys. Now, I know this match did air on TUDN, so you could watch it on like a regular if you just had a cable subscription. But if you wanted an English language broadcast, which I think if you're aware of what TUDN is, you probably already are a fan of soccer.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Probably.
But if you're this league trying to reach new fans, was it an issue that this game was only in English available on MLS Season Pass on Apple TV?
No, it wasn't. No, it was Spanish was available. No. I listened in Spanish.
In English. In English.
Oh, in Spanish was the best ever.
Okay, but
the best ever when in Spanish.
You're trying to grow to American
audience.
An American audience that
I'm an American.
An American audience that doesn't speak Spanish, which is that rules you out.
Lazy ones.
Well, unfortunately, that is me, but I am lazy, so I can't disagree with that. But is that a problem?
Yes.
Okay.
Very definitely.
I think it is.
Yeah, I think it is a problem. I'm not sure why they couldn't have made an arrangement with, what's on ABC on Friday nights? Probably nothing. Or Fox Soccer.
Yeah.
If you had FS1 or something, you could have shown a game. I know you had the U.S. women on at the same time.
They could have made a special arrangement for that game. I know that it wasn't guaranteed that Messi wasn't going to play. It wasn't guaranteed.
It was pretty likely,
but he was going to be there, and it had been announced for a while.
Again, we read that list of celebrities, so it's a big event. A big event, at the very least.
And so they could have made.
Who is LeBron James?
Just the greatest NBA basketball player. But you could have made. They even put out a little press release where you have all these guys, Stephen Curry, and just a list of players and everybody.
They're not playing.
And the biggest name, Greg Berhalter, also welcomed Miami.
All the stars were in Miami.
Yeah, it was
like
big,
full star.
It was a big production. Everybody welcoming
the Milky Way
Messi
in Miami.
And the first thing I think what kind of solidifies his reasoning for coming is who did he celebrate with? His kids. Could he have
His
done
friend's
that?
kids. He was this friend. That was not his kid. I thought
those-
that guy was his friend kid. He doesn't look like him. Do you remember?
They were
The little gordito?
But no, not him. That was like after. But the first ones.
The first one.
The first ones.
I think they were the kids' friends. It
And
was
so,
kids' friends.
you know, Messi to have both the drive to play on the field and the relaxation of saying, I can go to my family and hug them. Could he have done that at Barcelona? Never. His family would have been inundated with fans all over them. PSG fans would have probably hit them or something.
He's not
America,
not a popular guy. in
America
France.
is great,
Rough.
man. America is the only one.
And on that note, we are out of time on Futbol En Vivo on Club Deportes this week. Thank you to our fans. Thank you to Club Deportes, as always, for hosting us. And thank you to the name. I am so sorry. Gio. Thank you to Gio. As always, excellent work behind the boards. Apologies for my voice, and it was not good, but I made it through. And yeah, we will do this again next week.
Gracias. Oh my God.